there folks, how is it going? And welcome back to another outdoor photography adventure. We find ourselves here at this wonderful beach that I can't remember the name of. I'll put it up on the screen. Probably I'll forget to do that. In today's video, what we're going to do is take advantage of the fact that there is no cloud in the skies. Here in Portugal, it tends to be quite clear pretty much all the time and very, very hot. I literally feel like a chicken cooking in an oven, or an aubergine for any of vegetarians out there. One of the things that we can do is come to a place like this beach, take advantage of foreground and to really minimize the amount of sky that's in the image. We will look for some lovely direct light as the sun sets, which should prove to be very, very nice. And we'll also look for some small intimate scenes with our maybe 100 to 400. We'll zoom in and try and capture some nice intimate landscapes. So for now, we're going to have a lovely walk, maybe swim, and we'll get to some photography then. And another thing I forgot to mention is I also have the drone with me today, so we'll try and capture a few aerial shots. I don't ever really tend to fly the drone a great deal. Quite honestly, I'm terrified by it. But today we're breaking all sorts of our own limitations, and we'll capture some nice aerial photography and some nice video for you guys to enjoy, because this particular beach, it's our first time here at this beach. We had scouted it previously while on a hike, so there's going to be some really nice, there's lots of rocks popping up out of the water, and at the moment we're at high tide. So as the evening progresses, the tide will start to reveal some more of these rocks that are hidden underneath the surf, and we're going to look to take advantage of those rocks as foreground to create layers and leading lines as the water recedes out of our frames. So let's get to it. Looking forward to it. So I just realized my white balance was set to underwater. I don't know why that was. The trials we all go through learning how to do this. So I don't know if you can see down here, I'll take a bit of extra B-roll so that you can see what I'm talking about. There is already some of these lovely rock formations that are beginning to appear as the tide is receding out, which is ultimately what we're looking to take advantage of later this afternoon as the tide continues to go out. Down here as well, you'll also see as well, there's just one or two rocks jutting out. The tide will eventually go out pretty much to where those rocks are. So again, we'll get ourselves nice and situated to try and take advantage of all of that. So there should be plenty of opportunity to photograph some nice lines, some nice light. Let's continue on this lovely walk. It's a beautiful, beautiful beach. You know, one of the things that draws me so much to seascape photography is just the idea that every single image you capture is just so unique because of that ebb and flow of the tide. Somebody could come here in 4 hours time and see a totally different landscape, or could have come here 2 hours ago, and again we'll just be looking at something completely different. It's one of the nice advantages of living in a place like this, is having the opportunity to come and spend a lot of time here for the evening to set. As you can see here, the light is getting really, really wonderful. What I'm aiming to achieve is to create a nice sense of depth. I'm using the 100 to 400 and I'm shooting it at f6.3 to create that nice kind of depth of field, so we can be drawn into the image as the rocks are getting bashed by the sea off in the distance there. A really good start to the evening, and let's continue on and see what else we can do. So I don't know if you can be able to hear me too well. I'm just back at the van. I came up to get this stuff. I left the other camera downstairs that's connected to the microphone. But while I'm here, let's send the drone up and see what we can see. You know, one thing that we can really take advantage of when it's bluebird skies like it is now is to simply just look down you've got all this wonderful texture that's being revealed as the water is receding and the tide is ebbing its way out. What you can do is really find very intimate landscapes within these tiny little frames, and it's a wonderful tip to simply just look down. And I can pop up a few examples that I'm taking here now. You can find all of these rocks that are half buried in the sand. You can take advantage of the fact that there's some really harsh light and highlights and specular highlights on these rocks, and then just do nice simple scenes of just the sand as the water snakes its way through and creates these ravines in the sand. Absolutely wonderful. Minimalist, just super contrasty that you can create and take advantage of when conditions aren't optimal for epicness. But here we are creating still nonetheless. So as the light gets softer as the evening progresses, which it's so beautifully doing, what it does is create this absolutely gorgeous golden light on the sand, and just brings that harshness down. I know it's nice to sometimes experiment and seek out that super contrasty harsh light and dark shadows. As the light starts to set, it really softens those contrasts. Don't be afraid to experiment as you're wandering around waiting for the optimal light that we ultimately came here to photograph. So I never actually got around to recording a piece to camera for these pictures, but I am absolutely thrilled with how they turned out. Again, in the same vein of simply just looking down and playing with shutter speed, you can create these wonderful abstract images using the ebbing and flow of the tide. So folks, look where I am now at the moment. I've come out onto these wonderful exposed rocks, as you can see here, and they're actually curling all the way out to this big rock formation that's getting absolutely hammered out here. And this soft light that's just side lighting all of this is absolutely magic. It's so beautiful and golden, really lending itself well to create these lovely leading lines that we're looking for in our foreground. Here we are. So, due to a rookie mistake on my part, I never brought a spare set of freshly charged batteries for the lavalier microphone. So for the rest of the video, you get to listen to my wonderful voice as I ASMR you through the last bit of this landscape photography vlog. Essentially, all that's happened is that I've just moved forward from where I was to try and take advantage of more of these wonderful rock formations as they lead towards the big boulders off in the background that are getting absolutely hammered by the waves. And there's me realizing that the microphone has stopped working. But I'm sure you'll agree that the final image was worth the effort. It is focus stacked, one for the foreground, midground and background. I did take many different exposures to find the best one of the water as it crests and bashes into those rocks in the background. I did of course take many different other images around this whole area, and this one that you see now I am absolutely thrilled with. The motion in the water that's captured and the energy that's filled the frame is absolutely wonderful. Messing around with different shutter speeds as the water crashes into these rocks that you see here, and the overall final image I really enjoy capturing that energy. And I think we can all agree that Orla's framing of this particular scene is absolutely fantastic. And the main point as we close out this video is to never stop. As long as the sun is still in the sky casting wonderful light, seascape photography will always be an endeavor worth chasing. As you can see from these last couple of images, it's always worth continuing to find different compositions, different lighting, and different scenarios that you can point your camera at. And as I stoically walk towards you as the sun bathes me in golden light, I will see you all on the next video. Take it easy, everyone.